Hi everyone, I'm Harry and I'm a graphic designer from Dezynspace. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to access and use the Layer Styles tool, as well as the feature and properties of the Layer Styles tool that you can tweak during your work. Alright, so let's begin. So, if you look at this shape over here, we have here a lovely little ellipse tool. If you move it even closer so we can take a look at the different layer styles that you can apply to this one. Now, if you look at the layer over here, this ellipse layer, you can actually double click this to access the layer styles, just like that. Alright, so if you look at the layer styles, you'll actually notice a whole set of styles that you can apply. So let's start with bevel and emboss. With bevel and emboss, this allows you to put a sort of texture onto the shape, just like that. You can select different types of custom shapes that you can apply, just like that. This will give an embossed effect, something that looks like that your shape or that your layer is popping out, just like that. Alright, that's what the bevel emboss tool does. What the stroke style does is that it gives an outline to your layer. And you can actually select the color. Example, let's make it black. Let's make this red. Example, let's make this red. There. And you can actually set the size of your stroke. Make it bigger or smaller. You can set its position, whether inside, centered, outside. And you can also set its blend mode. And you can also set its opacity. This will be the same for almost all the other styles. So, but I'll show you the rest here. So again, after stroke, you move on to inner shadow. Inner shadow allows you to put a little drop shadow, but inside the layer. So here, you can actually set the blend mode, the opacity. Here, set the opacity. Then set the distance. How much does the inner shadow go into your layer? The choke. And the size. The size actually gives a feather effect to your inner shadow. Okay? Then, you can also go to inner glow. The inner glow is kind of like the inner shadow, but it's like the other way around. If the inner shadow gives a shadowed effect to your layer, inner glow gives a glowing effect instead, like this. You have the satin effect. It creates a sort of texture into your layer. The color overlay tool, as the name suggests, overlays a color onto your layer. So you can actually change up the colors, just like that. You even set the blend mode, so it could mix with your colors. You even set the opacity, how much of that color you want to put into your layer. The gradient overlay is kind of like the color overlay tool, but this time it creates a sort of gradients. If you notice, there's a gradients here. The pattern overlay, a while ago, if the bevel emboss also had a texture on it, the pattern overlay allows you to put a pattern or some kind of object onto your layer. Outer glow puts a glow effect outside. It's a little not visible using the teal, but let's make it red so it's more visible. There, so you can increase the size of your outer glow, just like that. Use drop shadow. If the inner shadow was to put a shadowed effect inside the layer, the drop shadow puts it outside. Change the blend mode, make it normal so it's more visible. Increase the opacity. There. So it's kind of like the outer glow, but much darker this time. You can also set the distance. Like that. So if you notice here, there's another drop shadow. There's another feature here in Adobe Photoshop. Here is that you can actually add several of the same layer styles. So let's say maybe you want a black drop shadow, and maybe you want a red drop shadow, just like that. You want them to mix together. A little bit here. There. See? Just like that. You can actually take, if you noticed a while ago, all you have to do to activate these styles is to click them here. Just like that. So let's say I want to put a little stroke inside. There. Some drop shadow. There. Alright, so if you're already satisfied, if you're already happy with all these layer styles, all you have to do is press OK. Once you've OK'd, you've got your layer. There. But once you put the layer style in, you're probably thinking, what if I don't like to put a stroke? What if I don't like my drop shadow? Well, that's actually very easy. All you have to do is you see this little eyeball here and actually turn off your layer styles. Just like that. Alright. Here's another trick. What if I want to copy this effect? What if I want to copy this onto another layer? Let's say, for example, let's create another shape. Make one shape over here. There. Okay. And here, what you can do so that move this ellipse over here so we can see this more clearly. Alright. So what if I want this square to have the same effect as this purple circle? I want it to have a stroke. I want it to have two drop shadows, just like that. What you can do is go back to your layer, look for copy layer style, and then go back to your layer where you want to apply the style, and paste layer style. Now if you can see, your square now has the same stroke and has the same drop shadow as your previous layer. And that's it. It's as simple as that. I hope you've learned a thing or two about how to use the layer styles, what are the different kinds of layer styles that you can apply to your layer, and how to apply that same style into your other layers. So thank you for watching another episode of Adobe Photoshop demonstrating tool functions. This is Harry, your graphic designer from Dezynspace, and I'll see you next time.